evening, and thank you for paying me a visit. Today, I am going to read for you a very interesting story. You must have heard about it, for it is a very famous fairy tale. The name is Alice in Wonderland. I really like Alice in Wonderland, but not really as a book, because the book in itself wasn't so appealing to me, but the world that the author created spoke to millions, and in consequence, a lot of games, a lot of other books, a lot of alternative stories came to life. Also, of course, series and movies that inspired many and inspired me too. Since we are going to talk about Alice, what is more fitting than serving some tea? Serving some tea. So, please have a seat, relax, and listen as I serve some tea and tell you more about Alice's tale. Once upon a time, in the quiet English countryside, there lived a curious young girl named Alice. One sunny afternoon, Alice was sitting by a riverbank, peeling a little board. She glanced up and noticed a white rabbit with pink eyes, dressed in a vest, hurrying past. The rabbit pulled out a pocket watch and said, oh dear, I shall be late." Very interested, Alice jumped and followed the rabbit. She watched as he disappeared into a large rabbit hole. Without thinking twice, Alice followed him, and suddenly she was falling down, down, down into a strange and wonderful world. Alice landed softly in a hallway filled with doors of all sizes. Doors of all sizes. On a glass table, she found a small golden key and a bottle labeled "Drink Me." Drink me. She sipped the potion and suddenly began to shrink, getting smaller and smaller until she was just the right size to fit through a tiny door that led to a beautiful garden. As Alice explored Wonderland, she met many unusual and talking creatures. First, she saw a caterpillar sitting on a mushroom. He gave her strange advice and said that the mushroom could change her size. Alice carefully took a piece and saved it for later. Next, she met the Cheshire Cat, a grinning cat who could appear and disappear whenever he wanted. The cat told Alice to visit the March Hare's house. There, she found the Mad Hatter and the Dormouse having a never-ending tea party. The Hatter and the Hare were very silly. They kept switching seats, telling funny riddles, and pouring tea in the oddest ways. Alice loved, even though some of it didn't make sense. Fun fact. Did you know that the expression "mad as a hatter" had a scientific explanation? The symptoms exhibited were slurred speech, tremors, irritability, shyness, depression, and other neurological symptoms. All those symptoms were caused by a long exposure to mercury. Mercury was used by hatters in their work at the time. After the tea party, Alice wandered into the garden of the Queen of Hearts. The Queen was bossy and loud, and she loved to play croquet using flamingos as hammers and hedgehogs as balls. She often shouted, "Off with their heads," when she didn't get her way. But Alice bravely stood her ground. During the game, Alice met the King of Hearts and the Royal Court, which was made up of living playing cards. The Queen accused the Knave of Hearts of stealing her tarts, and a trial began. The court was very silly. Witnesses like the Mad Hatter and the March Hare gave such mixed up answers that no one could follow along. As the trial became more ridiculous, Alice found herself growing taller and taller. The Queen screamed, "Off with her head!" But Alice, now towering above everyone, simply said, "You're nothing but a pack of cards." Just then, the whole court flew into the air and doubled down around her. Alice blinked and found herself waking up on the riverbank. It had all been a dream. Her sister was still sitting nearby, reading a book. Alice smiled and thought about all the curious and wonderful characters she had met. Though it had been a strange and magical dream, she felt braver and more curious than ever. She knew that she would always remember her journey through Wonderland and the lessons she had learned about being curious, standing up for yourself, and believing in your imagination. The end. The end. The end. I really enjoyed reading that story for you, and I hope that you enjoyed listening to it too. Take care of yourself, and I wish you a very soothing and good night.